Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ Marino and we have a movie review today. I'm so excited to talk about James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was nervous about this film. I haven't always loved James Gunn's superhero films. I'm not a big fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but I did enjoy things like Super and Slither and even stuff he's produced like Belko Experiment and Brightburn. So I'm like, okay, where are we gonna lean with this movie? I know it's an R-rated, but like, is he truly gonna go down the weird R-rated path? Oh my goodness, I was so happy that James Gunn said, you don't know what you're gonna expect, bitch, and slapped me in the face and said, enjoy it. And I did. This movie is a slap in the face. It is the most what the heck movie I have seen in quite some time, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. This movie is utterly insane. From the crazy DC villain, from the roster of characters that we have, to the filmmaking style, to the gore, to the soundtrack, to the just aesthetic, to the press conference I watched for this film. Oh my goodness, this is such a fun, lively, entertaining movie. It's not for everyone though. This is definitely not a family superhero film. This is one of the hardest R's I've seen. You thought Logan had gore. You think The Boys is gory. The Suicide Squad is like, okay, I'm like, this is horror film level of crazy gore, but it's presented in a different way. There's some entertaining moments, even if it's bloody, it's still a fun romp. This is such an interesting film because I haven't seen something, a superhero film, that is so mature, so adult in so many ways, and then so juvenile and childlike in other ways. It's the perfect balance. It's kind of what James Gunn's brand should be. Like I said, I'm not always a fan, but when he works, he does work, and this is some of his best work. Hell, this might be one of my favorite, if not my favorite, James Gunn movie yet. As a DC superfan, I always get nervous going into one of these movies, but I actually like most DC movies. I'm not one to be like, oh god, this isn't what I know from the comics. I'm always down for everything. It's just crazy that we live in a society, I know I use that we have Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Suicide Squad coming out in 1 year, and they just do so much for the DC brand. I can get into the plot of the Suicide Squad, but you know what it is. Amanda Waller gets Task Force X to go do a mission, and crazy things happen. We have Harley, we have Bloodsport, we have John Cena's Peacemaker, we have our big crazy villain Starro. There is so much in this for a DC fan that I really respect it. I mean, even things like using the Polka Dot Man or Ratcatcher #2 as main characters in a film, it's genius. It's so cool to see some of these more obscure characters. I mean, that's kind of what James Gunn did with Guardians of the Galaxy, getting people like Rocket and Groot to the mainstream. We live in a world now that like Starro is going to be a character people know in just regular pop culture. Ratcatcher 2 is going to be a fan favorite in a movie. Wow, what is going on? And that's just the craziness of this. To go through all my favorite characters in this movie would be hard because this is an insane roster. Everyone is here. Crazy amount of people, but there are some standouts for me. I really liked Idris Elba as Bloodsport. He really stood out. He is a great leading man. He's really, really entertaining. He has a lot of heart and soul, but he's really funny and goofy. Ratcatcher #2, she is a newer actress and she's going to be on everyone's lips. We also have John Cena. He's really, really good in this. He's getting a spin-off series based on his character. I won't say much, but you can definitely tell that they were trying to sell him there. I also really liked Harley in this film. I haven't mentioned her much. Yeah, she's not the main character in this film. As a Harley stan as I am, could have used a little bit more Harley, but that's just pure. I'm a fanboy of her. And also another person like who returning. So we have Harley who's returning from the first film, but Rick Flag, Joel Kinnaman, he does good in this movie. He's not just saying things like, yo, this is Katana, she's gonna be with me. He's a more fleshed out, layered character. Oh, also, I cannot forget to mention King Shark. Sylvester Stallone voices King Shark, and oh my god, King Shark is like a fan favorite in the making. Every time he was in danger, I was just like, you could kill off everyone else, but King Shark better be safe. That's that kind of character vibe. He's cute, he's complicated, he's fun, and he has a story as well. James Gunn works well with these weird, fun characters. Things like Rocket or Weasel that's in this movie, or King Shark. I love to see him have fun with these type of characters, because that's what we like in superhero stuff. We like these weird, obscure characters. We like seeing the Polka Dot Man get a chance in the spotlight. That's what we should be wanting, and that's what this delivers on. The plot is crazy. You may not know what's going on sometimes, but that's just the fun of it. The acting is over the top. There's one scene with Viola Davis and Idris Elba yelling at each other, and I'm like, y'all don't need to be going for an Oscar in this movie. Chill out. They're just so good. So yes, we have a fun story, good characters, and an amazing visual style. I think this movie looks so interesting. Sometimes I think the cinematography could be a little bit more interesting, and then as soon as I think that, the movie changes it and says, let's do something unique then. I love it. Every time I would go, I don't really love this. 2 seconds later, the movie says, I know you didn't like that. I was just testing you. Let's go on to something else. This is just a fun, entertaining, jam-packed movie, and I think this is going to be a big hit. It is a little hard R, so I don't think you can bring the little ones to this movie, but I definitely see this being like for 13-year-olds and up, this is going to be a fan favorite. It's kind of what the Suicide Squad. I know everyone bashes the one that David Ayer did, but it has a cult following. This is going to have a bigger cult following. This is going to be a big fun time. Is it going to make Black Widow money? I don't know. I could be wrong, but I would like to see it do well, and I hope so as well, because DC needs another hit. Like Zack Snyder's Justice League did good, but Wonder Woman 1984 did not. So I hope this is a big monster hit because it deserves it. It is a fun, crazy, weird movie. Alright everyone, that is it for my review of the Suicide Squad. I can't believe I just praised James Gunn for like 8 minutes. That is crazy, but that's just what this movie did. It made me change my mind about a filmmaker. It made me have fun with DC characters I never thought I would enjoy. Oh my goodness, this is one of my favorites this year. Alright guys, what did you think of this review? What do you think of the Suicide Squad? Let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe to Flickering Myth because we make videos like this every single week, and give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Alright everyone, let's talk about James Gunn, the Suicide Squad, and DC movies down below.